I want to dive into the depths of what we could be, but I'm scared of losing myself in the process. You're the risk I want to take, but I'm terrified of what will happen if I do. I want you so badly, it hurts, but the fear of what might happen next is even more painful. You're the thrill I crave, but also the danger I fear. How do I choose between the two? I want to let myself go with you, but the thought of losing control keeps me tethered. You're the dream I want to chase, but the nightmare of losing myself keeps holding me back. I'm intoxicated by the thought of you, but terrified of what comes after the high. You make me feel alive in ways I've never felt before, but the fear of the unknown keeps me from taking the plunge. I want you more than anything, but I'm scared of what happens when desire turns into reality. The intensity of what I feel for you is overwhelming, but the fear of losing control is even stronger. You're the greatest temptation I've ever faced, but the fear of falling too far keeps me from taking the leap. You're the chaos my soul craves and the calm my heart fears. I don't know which side to listen to. I'm caught between wanting to give in to you completely and the fear of what I might lose if I do. You're the storm I long to stand in, yet the safety of shelter feels impossible to leave behind. I want to give you all of me, but I'm terrified of losing the parts of myself I may never find again. Your presence is magnetic, drawing me in, but my fears whisper that once I'm close, I'll never escape. The way you make me feel is unlike anything I've ever known, but the fear of unraveling keeps me restrained. You're the light I'm drawn to in the darkness, but I fear that light might blind me if I get too close. I ache for your touch, but I fear that once I feel it, I'll never want anything else again. You awaken a hunger in me, one I didn't know existed, but the fear of being consumed keeps me at bay. I want to let go and lose myself in you, but the idea of losing control is more terrifying than I can admit. You're a fire that warms me from afar, but I'm afraid of the scars I'll bear if I get too close. The passion I feel for you is overwhelming, but so is the fear of what happens when passion burns out. You're everything I've ever wanted, but wanting you feels like walking a tightrope over chaos. I dream of being with you, but those dreams often turn into nightmares of losing myself in the process. You're the melody I can't get out of my head, but I'm scared of the silence that might follow. The way you look at me is intoxicating, but I'm afraid of what I'll lose if I surrender to it. I'm caught between wanting to be consumed by you and fearing that I might disappear entirely if I do. You're the forbidden fruit I can't resist, but the cost of the bite is a price I'm unsure I can pay. I want you so badly, it feels like a hunger, but the fear of losing control is a chain I can't break. You've become my greatest desire and my greatest fear, two forces pulling me in opposite directions. I'm standing at the edge, ready to leap into your arms, but the fear of falling paralyzes me. The intensity of what I feel for you is electric, but electricity has a way of burning if mishandled. You make me feel alive in ways I've never experienced, but the fear of crashing keeps my feet planted firmly. I'm drawn to you like a moth to a flame, but I know all too well what happens to moths. You awaken something wild in me, something untamed, but that same wildness terrifies me. I long to lose myself in you, but the fear of what I might not recover keeps me tethered to my own walls. You're the sweetest temptation I've ever faced, but I'm terrified of the price I might pay for indulging. I want to let go and feel every part of you, but the fear of what comes after holds me back. You're my greatest fantasy and my deepest fear, two sides of the same irresistible coin. I'm caught in a battle between the craving to be with you and the fear of losing myself to you. Your touch promises heaven, but I'm terrified of the hell I might face if I fall too hard. I want to give in, to let go, to surrender to you completely, but the fear of losing control is paralyzing. The fire you ignite in me is like nothing I've ever felt before, but I fear it might burn me alive. You're the sweetest kind of chaos, the kind I long for but fear I can't survive. The thought of being with you is as thrilling as it is terrifying, and I'm stuck somewhere in between. I'm standing on the edge of desire, wanting to give in, but the fear of what might happen if I do keeps pulling me back. There's a fire burning inside me, an aching need for you, but my fear of losing myself in the process is even stronger. I'm caught in this intoxicating dance between craving your touch and being terrified of the vulnerability it brings. The closer I get to you, the louder my heart screams for you. Yet a quiet voice in the back of my mind warns me of the fall. I feel the pull, the magnetic force between us, but my own walls keep me from surrendering to it. Every glance you give me is a promise of ecstasy, but I'm paralyzed by the thought of what comes after. I want you so badly, but the chaos you awaken in me terrifies me. I don't know if I'm ready to lose myself in you. You're like a storm I want to get lost in, but storms have a way of leaving destruction in their wake. I'm teetering on the edge, balancing the intense desire I have for you with the fear of losing the control I've fought so hard to keep. You ignite something primal in me, but that same fire threatens to consume everything I've built to protect myself. The temptation to let go and fall into your arms is almost unbearable, but the thought of not being able to get back up scares me. I want to lose myself in you, but I'm terrified of what will be left when the passion fades. Every part of me wants to surrender to you, but I can't shake the fear of what that surrender might cost me. The way you look at me sets my soul on fire, but my mind whispers caution, warning me of the burn. You're my deepest desire and my greatest fear, all wrapped up in one irresistible package. I crave you in ways I can't even explain, but the fear of what happens next holds me back. I'm fighting a battle between the part of me that wants to give in to you and the part that wants to protect myself. You're my sweetest temptation, but giving in means losing control, and that terrifies me more than I can admit. The chemistry between us is undeniable, but what if giving in changes everything? What if I lose myself in you? I'm consumed by thoughts of you, but the fear of being consumed entirely keeps me from taking the leap. I'm holding back, not because I don't want you, but because I want you so much that it scares me. Your touch is electric, your presence intoxicating, but I'm afraid of what happens if I lose myself in it. I want to lose myself in your arms tonight, but the fear of losing control keeps holding me back. The way you make me feel is exhilarating, but the fear of what comes after is paralyzing. I'm stuck between wanting to let you in and fearing the chaos you might bring into my carefully controlled world. You've awakened something in me that I can't ignore, but I'm terrified of where it might lead. The desire to be with you is overwhelming, but so is the fear of what happens when I let my guard down. You're my greatest temptation, but also my greatest risk, and I don't know which side will win tonight. I want to let go and feel everything with you, but the fear of losing myself in the process keeps me grounded. You're the reason my heart races and my mind hesitates. I'm torn between passion and caution. There's a war inside me, one part aching for you, the other afraid of what surrender might mean. Your presence is magnetic, pulling me closer, but my fears are the chains keeping me from reaching you. I've never wanted anyone as much as I want you, but the thought of losing myself scares me to death. You're my greatest weakness and my strongest desire. I'm terrified of what you can do to me. I feel like I'm standing in the eye of a storm with you, calm and chaotic all at once. You're the flame I can't resist, but I fear being burned if I stay too close. Every time I think of you, my heart says yes, but my mind screams no. warning me of the risks. The passion I feel for you is like an unstoppable wave, but I'm scared of drowning in it. I want to let myself fall for you completely, but the fear of losing my footing keeps me on edge. You stir something deep inside me, something raw and uncontainable, but I don't know if I'm ready to face it. The thought of being with you is thrilling, but the thought of what happens next terrifies me. I want to give myself to you, but I'm scared of what I'll lose in the process. Every touch, every glance, every word you say pulls me closer, but my fears act like an anchor holding me back. I'm scared of how much I want you, of how much power you have over me without even trying. You're a beautiful chaos, and I'm afraid of what will happen if I let myself get swept up in it. The idea of being with you excites me, but it also terrifies me. I don't know which emotion is stronger. You're everything I want, but also everything I'm afraid of, all wrapped up in one irresistible package.